Now that I have summoned my inner Marie Kondo, it's time to talk about all of the sparkly things that spark joy. Hi friends, hi! My name is Mia and this is my virtual vanity, a place where we both love makeup and we're quite critical of it, but there is not going to be any criticism today. I know, false advertising. Today we are going to talk about all of the sparkly, wonderful, makeup-y sort of things that spark joy. Today's video is a collaboration with my beautiful, wonderful friend Sarah Hubler here on YouTube. If you want someone that is chill, classy, laid back, has a voice that would make you listen to her talk about paint drying, and if you want a channel that is just makeup, no fuss, cruelty-free to boot, she's your girl. She is such a sweet person. As I said, so chill and laid back. I love listening to her. I love hearing her opinions on makeup. She does a lot of comparative swatches, and she's also great at describing appearances of stuff, why she liked or why she didn't like certain things. So I can't recommend her channel. Today we are both going to talk about things that spark joy. Now, I'm in the school of thought that, you know, things are things. They can be easily replaced and you shouldn't put too much feeling into them just because they're not people. For my picks, you will notice that a lot of them have a memory attached to them, or a person, or a nice experience. I have one or two things that I actually like just because, and they spark joy just because. Some of these do overlap the favorites that I use over and over again, while some don't. Because sometimes things do make you happy even if you don't use them non-stop. Without further ado, let's talk about all of the things that make me forget for one singular sparkly moment that I am actually dead inside. I'm going to start with the one non-makeup-y thing in the bunch just so we can get it out of the way. This is the Ricci perfume, and it's in this beautiful glass apple bottle. Now this brings me joy even just because it's a beautifully designed product, and I love how the light shines through the bottle and into the red liquid. But I also like this because I associate it with my transition from girlhood to womanhood. This was the perfume that I wore all throughout college, part of high school as well. This was the perfume that I wore when I first moved with my boyfriend in our home. It was a gift from my mother. I even do feel that the first bottle of it that I used up was actually me stealing it from my mom's vanity, and then she got me my own thing, and I kept repurchasing it and repurchasing it and repurchasing it over the years because whenever I use it, it reminds me of happier, simpler times when I wasn't an adult with a stressful job and responsibility. It reminds me of when it was just me and my mom and her helping me discover what I liked and what I didn't like in terms of beauty. This is a very floral perfume, a very sweet perfume. It can be used both in the day and evening time. I think it's a very girly type of perfume in any case. On to makeup things, and a thing that I like just because. This is the Cupio 306 brush. You might wonder why a brush sparks joy. It sparks joy because it's so fucking fluffy. That's my reasoning for it. I see it, it's fluffy, and I just feel a tingle of something when I look at it. It's so stinking cute, you know? It's a great brush too, but the fact that it's fluffy sparks joy for me. More products that are in that realm of they remind me of my transition from girlhood to womanhood, and thus they spark joy for me, are my two big girl face product ticket items. Becca blush in Foxglove and the Makeup Forever highlighter in 01. These were the first items that I bought that were not drugstore. And highlighter gives an almost glassy, translucent, dewy without being glittery look to the skin, while the Foxglove blush, highly pigmented blush that can be applied really strongly or as a veil of pink healthiness to the skin. Remember, I think I was on my third or fourth salary at my first real job and not freelancing, you know, drawing and writing articles for money. So I remember using these and being like, yes, I fucking made it. I can spend money on non-essential things. I don't have to lose 3 days of sleep non-stop just to make ends meet. Yes, I made it. They remind me of that, but they also spark joy because they're genuinely beautiful products. So yes, you may have noticed by now that I am a huge softie. I like to present myself as a badass bitch, but I'm actually a big fucking softie. The Too Faced chocolate chip. Listen, I rarely use this palette. I mostly use it on my 5 a.m. shift because it's so barely there, and it's nice that it does smell like chocolate, but that's not what sparks joy, even though I do like a good smelling product. And this is a gift from my friend Alice, and Alice is a trans woman, and before she transitioned, our friendship was really suffering because she hadn't yet realized that, I think as she started to get more and more conflicted with her gender identity, she started to get more and more, not necessarily aggressive, but had some opinions that didn't sit well with me, that in hindsight were probably her struggling with how to identify and what's her place in the world. A long period of arguing, after a long period of honestly being sad that I was losing my friend as I knew her, she moved to the UK. She realized what was up in her soul and she started transitioning. We started to mend our relationship and mend fences because she was again the friend that I knew her to be, the person that I knew her to be. She came back from the UK to visit for the first time, and I was like, yo, do you want me to do your makeup? Just a moment of girly bonding. And when she arrived for me to do her makeup, she gifted me this palette. This palette for me sparked joy because whenever I see it, whenever I look at it, it reminds me that I did not lose that friendship and that a precious person to me gained her happiness. Another person dear to me that moved to the UK because fuck the UK, you're taking away all of our good people. My best friend. We've been friends for 19 years. And she moved a couple of years ago to the UK. I asked her, yo, we can't get Glossier here, can you bring me some? So she brought me the Cloud Paint and the Generation G lipstick. And I've spoken about the Cloud Paint numerous times until now, less so about the Generation G lipstick, even though I use this to bits and pieces. So this sparks joy because it's a product that I genuinely love using, but also because every time I use it, it reminds me of her and I feel her close to my heart. Let's get into eyeshadow. Let's just break up the sap a bit before I start crying with one palette that I love just because it's pretty and it's shiny and it's sparkly. And that is the Huda Neon Green. This received shitty reviews, but that is because it's not high saturation, high pigment, high performance. This is a sheer wash of color, a sheer wash of glitter. I have a review of it up. And every time I use it, this sparks joy because I feel like a fairy. It's so sheer, so springy, so it reminds me of flowers and green leaves and green grass. And whenever I wear it, it makes me look like a happy person, and that makes me happy. I took out a bunch of eyeshadow singles and other products. So the first one would be the ColourPop Flexitarian and Sydney Grace Golden Peach. Again, associated with a person. I think I was a wee channel still by the time. I think I hadn't hit 1K, not that I'm very big now, but I was talking with this girl Maddie over Instagram. She knew me from my channel and we started, you know, talking over Instagram and becoming friends. And at a certain point she was like, yo, my boyfriend is from Romania and we're visiting Bucharest, would you like to meet up? And I was like, hell yeah, I was so excited to finally meet someone, a friend that I had made online. When she arrived, she was kind enough to gift me a couple of things, including these two, which are my favorite from what she got me. You know, every time I use these, they spark joy because they remind me of a friendship that I did thanks to this channel. So that was really nice. It was really was nice. The next one is from Devinah. This I got from Emily, another friend, another dear friend that I made online, and she knew that I had wanted to try so much stuff from the US and it was prohibitive for me to try it very often because of the shipping. Every time I use it, it reminds me of Emily, and it reminds me of the wonderful friendships that I am cultivating and growing here. I have got Notoriously Morbid pigments. You've probably seen Mariam on my channel before. I've done collaborations with her. I've done buy it or deny it videos with her. She's one of the very few first friends that I made through YouTube. She knew that I wanted to try Notoriously Morbid. She was a representative at certain points. She had like hundreds of pigments. And she was like, you know, I want you to be able to try these, so I'm going to send these to you. Give me your address. And you know, I'm the kind of person that is always appreciative of gifts. Gift giving is not my love language, but I do appreciate gifts from people that are thoughtful and lovely, especially people that I don't get to see in real life, or that I don't get to see in real life that much. And these pigments were absolutely beautiful. I don't use them a lot because I'm still not great with using pigments, but every time I use them I'm like, oh, they're from a friend, and it's so nice. Like, yeah, I'm a softie. I apply first a regular primer. I do my crease shades, my crease colors. If I want one of these in the crease, it goes on the regular primer, not on the glitter glue. And then where I want them to be really intense, that's when I apply the glitter glue, because after that they're not going to budge, they're not going to blend out. But they're such beautiful shades and such beautiful colors, and the association with a dear friend always makes them a delight to use. I bought Igneous cosmetics before because of my friend Liana here on YouTube, because she loved them. And African Amethyst still reigns as the undefeated champion of beautiful purples in my collection. It is the most stunning, unique purple that I have, even though I have way too much fucking eyeshadow for one person at this point, to be completely honest. It was the very first indie brand that I bought from. The very first. To me, discovering Igneous Cosmetics was like a whole new world of makeup, and it really paved the way for me trying more and more indies. Now, the last products that I want to talk about, they've been talked about on my channel over and over and over again. I know you're sick of it. I'm sorry. I like what I like. I can't help who I love. And this is Nabla Cosmetics. Nabla Cosmetics was my first foray into high quality makeup. They're Italian, so when I use them, I feel like I'm going back to my roots. They make me happy every time I use them. They're so multidimensional, so beautiful. Nabla usually likes playing with textures and sparkle and multidimensionality in their shades, so this is why they're my favorite brand, basically. That was it, guys. That was all of the stuff that sparks joy for me. Please do not forget to check out Sarah's video and Sarah's channel. She is wonderful. I'm sure all of you will love her. Thank you guys so much for watching, and you go ahead and have a wonderful evening, morning, second breakfast, third lunch, throwing the ring in tomorrow, or whatever it is where you're from. Bye!